Let's take a look at debugging. Let's say this is a program we had for grade calculation. Let's change it slightly, such that my A calculation is wrong. And let's mess this up too, if it's less than or equal to. Okay, so we got a couple of problems here. I go to run it. I put my 500 points in here, 400 here, 100, and click calculate. Okay, that works fine. But we know with our circumstances that should work fine. Let's say I got 1 point here, 2 points here. I click calculate. It figures percentage and it tells me you got a grade of an A. Well, we obviously got some problems. Now over here on the side, you got your lines of code. If you come over here, let's see if I can get the right bar. There. That gets a little gray bar, and you click. You don't need double click. But if you click, it'll put a little red dot there. If you click the red dot, it'll go away. This is called a breakpoint. And what this will do when you're running the code is it'll once it's running, it'll kick off at this point and go into your code. Well, let's see what I mean. If I run this program, and I put 1 here, 2 here, and 100 here. If I click calculate, all of a sudden my screen's gone. I'm sitting here actually in my code. Now down here, you'll see your variable names, and it'll tell you their current value. So you can see homework is 1, test is 2, final percent or final exam is 100, and you see over here it tells you the data type, and then percentage, homework percent, test percent. You can see, okay, that all looks correct, and FE percent. Up here, sender. A lot of these I never use. What I find most beneficial is if you put your cursor over the variable up here, it'll tell you what the value is. That tells us 23.345. LB text to begin with says label 7, so we haven't set it yet. If I put my mouse over percentage, 23.345, same as over here. FE percent, 25%, test percent, 0.325. I never actually use this box down here unless I just want to see all the variables in one place. Okay, now our debug menu here. You can of course stop debugging. You could continue. You see there's a step into or step over. Now step into goes to the next line of code. So if I do that, and I could choose this option or do F11, then you see it goes down the next line of code that it's running. And now if I do another F11, after it does that, it comes down, and this is the next line of code. You see a little yellow arrow to indicate what it's on. And the next line of code does that, and when I press the next line of code, it comes back to this. So if I put in 22 here, click calculate again, it comes down to here because I'm still doing my F11 debugging. So it does that line of code, and you could examine each one of these as it runs. Homework's 22. This one is 2. You don't want to examine the variable before you, like here it says the final exam 0. But if I do F11, go to the next line, then put a mouse over that, and it says final exam is 100. Well, you may not want to go line by line if it's, if you got quite a few lines of code. If I click continue here, it'll go down to where my breakpoint is. So then it'll skip straight down to here. And now I could do F11 and have it go line by line and see what's going on. Okay, so then it comes down here, and I'm thinking, okay, that percentage is currently 25.765. How come it's skipping all the rest of these conditions and going down to here? And then I happen to see, okay, 8.5. That should be 89.5. I messed up. So I'd stop debugging, click this little square, And then I come up here and change this to 89.5. Might want to clear off the breakpoint and just run it like normal. Okay, well, everything's working perfect now. Let me check the 100K or the 100% case. Okay, now let me switch this to 350. I don't know what I need to change it to get a B. 300. Okay, that's working. Change it to 250. Let's see what that gives us. 75.625. It says it's a D. That ain't right. So our C calculation looks like it's incorrect. So maybe I'll come over here, put a breakpoint. Oops. And then I'm going to debug, start debugging, or simply when you push this button, it does the same thing. Okay, so I put in no memory. I don't remember what I had. 250 was it? We'll say it was. Okay, so then I'm down to here. This is where it's kicking off at. Now you also got much different buttons here. Stop debugging, restart, show next statement, step into F11. So you can push this button. Step over. Well, if I have to go up there, I'm going to just choose the menu option because it takes me too long to remember which button's which. F11's, once you start programming it quite a bit, F11 comes in handy because then you don't have to use any of that up there at all. Okay, so if I put my mouse over percentage, it says 75.625. And so you know that's supposed to be a C. So then I do an F11. It comes down to here. And then you know that's where the problem was. And then you see, okay, greater than or equal to. Okay, well, let me stop it and change that to what it should be. Greater than or equal to. Very nice feature for debugging. If you're trying to figure out what in the world your program's doing, that's invaluable.